Man, we had a stripper last time.
Break yourself, fool!
Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy.
So I just arrived at the junkyard right here out in Jessup, LKQ. I'm looking for a 97 Accord with on ABS to get the proportionate valve out of it for Chico's car, and yeah, hopefully we find one in order to make the custom brake lines for his car, because I'd rather have the brake lines made before putting the engine in it, because it's way easier to do it that way. So I got me the proportionate valve I was looking for. This is it, and it came out of a 97 Accord. Like I said, it comes with no ABS, but it's exactly like the CL. Everything we've been buying for this car has pretty much been from an Accord. So that's the proportionate valve we'll be using. I just cut the lines off. It was a pain in the ass to do it, especially with simple ass tools. But yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. It ain't so hot today, but damn, I'm still sweating though. I'm ready to leave. Yo, I swear AC is fucking love right now. Well, I'm happy I got the valve, so at least that's checked off the list. Won't be working on the car for a couple of days since I'm leaving to New York, and I got other projects going that I got to get finished and rolled out so I can get paid for before I leave today. So yeah, we're gonna have to wait for a little bit, but we got other adventures coming. Stay tuned.
Later.
About to get fucked up. Yo, everything we've been doing out here has been rated R, and we're about to get into some more dirty shit tonight. So this is the proportionate valve I got for Chico's car from the junkyard. Before I even put it on the car, I'm gonna take these broken lines off fittings and clean it up and probably paint it just to go with the whole engine bay. While I was out of state, Chico took out the tape. There's still tape like on the subframe and whatnot. We're probably just gonna sand it down, just give it another spray real quick. But other than that, the bay is straight. So next step on Chico's car is creating the brake lines, and the way I'm gonna do this is with custom lines that I'm gonna flare myself. And before I clean up, I took all the fittings off the proportionate valve, but before cleaning it and whatnot, I kind of just figured out the spot, same spot off as the Accord, to mount it, and it's right there. So it mounts right there, and these were the brake lines that were bended up for the other valve that was in place, which is non-ABS. It's for ABS at the way. Never mind. But what we're gonna have to do is make those go to the back port right here, 1 and 2. So in order to make the existing back lines to work, I'm gonna end up just cutting the ends off and kind of just bending his way down, and use those lines and reflare it to match up to this. I'll be using pipe cutter, and I got a filer, line wrench, very important, brake line bender, simple, got it for cheap. But the main tool is the hydraulic tool, flaring tool from Matco. Found it cheaper than Snap-on, but I've been using this for years. It makes the job a lot more easier, especially if you do it a lot on older cars. I mean, if you're a mechanic, it pays for itself. But yeah, I'm about to start trying to mock this up, start on the rear brake lines and clean everything up. So hopefully have the lines made by the end of the weekend and have the engine put in soon, because I really want to see it in the car. So I got the proportionate valve mounted on slightly with 2 bolts. This is not permanent, but This is the rear line that goes to this port, and this one's gonna have to go to that port. But clearly the bends do not match, so I'm gonna cut it for right here. Probably use the same flare, same fitting, and then reflare it. And then I'll probably cut this one probably around this area. Use the same fitting and reflare it. And then we have the back lines attached to the valve. And from there, the rest will just be routed away to each wheel, and then two to the master cylinder. So I do got the rear brakes mocked up to fit on the proportionate valve for the non-ABS one that we are putting on. I hit it with some primer, some paint, and some clear, so I'm gonna let that dry. And I'm gonna go get some munchies and come back, let that dry before I put it back on. And
Eventually.
so I got the valve mounted on with new hardware. All I did was cut the existing lines a little bit shorter, reflared it, and got it right on. So next step will be to create the one that goes to the front wheels and to the master cylinder. Unfortunately, I won't be able to finish the other lines today. I wish I could. I have other things to do. Me and Chick are both busy doing other things also. So we're just gonna keep picking at it, making steps, making progress. It's not an overnight thing, you know, it's a project. So we wanna make it look as nice as possible. So we're gonna take our time with it. So just stay tuned.
Tomorrow.
Okay, so today we will be making the front brake lines. I got a roll of 3/16 stainless steel brake line, AutoZone shit, and I got some fittings. So stay tuned, but I'll show you how this thing gets. Stay tuned, I'm gonna show you how it gets done. So this is pretty much what you have in the kit. You have your hydraulic tool, and you have your fittings for the inverted flares right here, the cones, your cone, and these are for stuff for bubble flares, which I barely use nowadays. This is the roll of brake line I have left from Chico's car, 3/16. We'll grab the 3/16, put that, and you're gonna mount this, going like this, in here. So pretty much you have that like that, split in the middle. And what you do next is you get your brake line, the side you want to flare. You get the side you want to flare, and you put it towards the 3/16 holes on the tool. Alright, so when you have it through the hole, you want to clamp it down. Once the end of that line is flush or even with the surface of the thing that's holding it. Then we're doing a inverted flare, so you grab your 3/16 fitting first, which looks like this. 3/16 inverted flare, and you slide it in right there with the tip going inside. That little end is gonna go inside the line as you pump it up. This end is gonna go into the line though. Put it on the tool, put it on the tool like that, and you're gonna use the hydraulic system, close it, and pump it until you get that into the line. I got it started, and all you gotta do is just pump it up and let the tool do the work. It's harder to do since I'm doing it with one hand. Once it's all the way you can't go no more, you open the hydraulic tool, release the pressure, take your tool off, put that back, get your cone, and you want to put the cone going inside. So I kind of got it started already since I'm using one hand, but once it's started, you just have this closed, and start pressing it. Start pressing it till it stops, then release it. Once you release it, you'll be able to take your cone back out, put it back, and your flare is pretty much done. All you gotta do is just unclamp it from the the grip, that's the thing that's holding it. And there you go. You got yourself a perfect flare. Only thing is, before you flare, you want to put the fitting inside the line first. I ran out of fitting, so I didn't. And I just did it for a demonstration. But like I said, if you're a mechanic and you do this a lot, the tool pays for itself. If you don't have one, I highly recommend it. So we made the front lines, one going to the driver front wheel, and then the one going to the passenger. Made a loop, made a run behind the subframe, come out through there. Not the prettiest, but it works. Oh well. And we got the mount, the rear motor mount on. And we're painting the brake booster so we can put the new master cylinder in, and then make the brake lines from the proportionate valve to the cylinder. Bleed the brakes before putting the motor in. Alright, so I got the brake booster and the master cylinder back on the car. However, I did not get the lines done. It's been a long, busy day running around. Chico's also working on his bathroom, so it's kind of more priority to fix his house than the car.
Me out there. Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, we still made progress. Anything's better than nothing. That's what I say.
Gotta do grown man shit, you know? Car, house, life.
Hey, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Never give up on yourself. It's all patience, right?
Strong mind.
Tomorrow for sure.
Okay, so we got all the brake lines done from the rear to the front wheels to the master cylinder. Got the new clutch master cylinder in, and we got the clutch line to the slave. Got the motor mount on, T-bracket, heater hoses, and we're about to get ready to put the engine in. So yeah, let's get to it.
Popping shit like a Nazi, iced out like DiBiase. That Liberace, 4X Versace. Somebody stop me, never that. Come on, do that. Uptown. You know you're feeling that cash room. Hardcore, you can dance to. That old Biggie, give me one more chance. Take a glance, and I'm off with yours. For both hands and rough.